2,000 meters above sea level, deep in the Swiss Alps, engineers are attempting something almost impossible. They're replacing a gigantic dam wall, while the reservoir behind it is still active. In the freezing mountains of Switzerland, one aging concrete dam has become too critical to shut down. Instead of draining billions of liters of water, engineers are rebuilding parts of the structure while the reservoir remains operational. Massive cranes hang over steep Alpine cliffs. Workers battle snow, ice, avalanches, and brutal winds just to move equipment into place. Every single mistake could threaten nearby valleys, power generation, and one of Europe's most important hydroelectric systems. This is not just a repair project. It's one of the most dangerous high-altitude engineering operations ever attempted in the Alps.
And this is how one of the world's most extreme engineering projects is built. From nothing into reality.
The structure now meets its first real movement.
High in the Swiss Alps, an aging dam stands against a force that never stops moving. A temporary city rises where only stone and silence existed before.
Even the water itself carries hidden structural force. The dam reveals its silent fractures under scientific light.
Every centimeter of this mountain is being measured before change begins. Without access, even the largest machines remain powerless.
The mountain must be restrained before it can be reshaped.
A new path for water is carved beneath ancient stone.
Inside every layer lies the story of mountain formation.
The river is taught where it must no longer pass. Even controlled destruction demands perfect structure. Every material must cross a landscape that allows no shortcuts.
Precision is the only language the mountain accepts.
Now the old structure is no longer a dam. It is a project ready to be rewritten.
Before rebuilding the dam, the mountain must first be made reachable.
Even temporary structures must obey permanent engineering precision. Every machine arrives through a path carved from raw stone. This mountain now holds a factory built on its own slope. Without energy, even the largest machines remain silent. Human endurance becomes part of the engineering system.
Every movement on this mountain and on
Even destruction here is calculated down to millimeters. The mountain is held in place while it is being reshaped.
The entire landscape is now being rebuilt in digital form first. In extreme environments, safety becomes part of construction itself.
Even the mountain is recycled into its own reconstruction.
Material begins its journey from destruction to creation. Now the mountain is no longer untouched. It is fully operational.
Now the mountain is divided into exact geometry where nature once had none.
The first layer of the mountain begins to disappear under engineered force.
Even explosions here are shaped with mathematical restraint.
We are now entering the mountain's deepest structural memory. Every layer tells a different story of pressure and time. The mountain must be held before it can be reshaped. What once formed the mountain now becomes engineered material.
The ground itself is being prepared to carry unimaginable weight.
Even water is redirected with absolute precision.
Strength begins as a perfectly ordered skeleton of steel. Before concrete arrives, the earth must be made immovable.
Hidden water forces are mapped before they become a threat.
Every edge must obey the exact shape of engineering intent.
The mountain is now hollowed into preparation for something permanent. Now the foundation must reach beyond what the eye can see. Each strike forces the structure deeper into the mountain's core.
Strength here is not built once, it is repeated hundreds of times. We are now building where the mountain resists most fiercely. Steel begins to behave like a single continuous organism.
Even hidden structures must survive centuries of pressure and water. A fraction of error here would become a failure decades later.
Water is no longer an obstacle, it is part of the system. Individual strength becomes collective load-bearing power. Before concrete arrives, the mountain must confirm its acceptance. Even hidden water must be guided with absolute precision.
The invisible skeleton of the new dam is now complete.
Every force is now balanced before concrete seals it forever.
And now, the unseen structure is ready to become visible reality.
Now the mountain begins to return in a new engineered form. What was once stone is now liquid strength under control. The invisible structure begins to become solid reality.
Every void must be eliminated before strength can exist.
Strength is not poured once, it is built in controlled layers. Even concrete must be carefully cooled to survive its own creation. Precision does not stop when the material becomes liquid.
The mountain is being rebuilt as a single continuous structure.
Containment is what allows power to take form. This structure will never stop speaking to its engineers. Even perfection must be mechanically enforced. The mountain night tests every weakness in the structure. What was liquid force is now becoming permanent stone.
The foundation is now complete, and the mountain is ready to rise again.
All right, bring it down. A little to the left. Got it. Looks good. Lock it in.
What was once underground now begins to grow into visible power. The structure builds itself step by step, never stopping. Inside every tower is a spine of engineered steel strength. Each piece must travel through air before becoming part of stone. Even at this scale, precision defines survival. The mountain itself tests what is built within it. Inside strength lies a hidden system of control and care. The tower grows without pause, like the mountain it replaces. This structure will constantly report its own condition. Strength is multiplied when structure becomes coordinated.
At this height, every movement becomes part of the structure itself.
These towers are not the end. They are anchors for something greater. The mountain now stands, transformed into engineered vertical power. Now the structure must learn how to hold itself in tension.
A single line of steel now connects two sides of a mountain.
Every millimeter of tension decides the future stability of this dam. Even gravity must be negotiated with engineering precision.
Strength is multiplied through interconnected tension.
Each tower becomes a controlled gateway for immense force. The entire structure now breathes as one engineered system.
Even steel must be protected from the passage of time.
The wind becomes the final invisible engineer. What was temporary tension now becomes permanent structure. The sky and the mountain are now connected by engineered lines. Every force now travels through engineered paths, not nature. Even in darkness, the structure continues to hold its form. The invisible skeleton of the bridge dam system is now complete. Now the structure begins to take the shape of a surface. Each segment must find its exact place in the sky before it becomes ground. At this scale, even a fraction of error cannot be allowed.
The surface of the structure begins to stretch across the mountain.
What supports the surface is hidden beneath it. The wind is no longer an enemy, but a controlled force. Step by step, the void is being filled with structure. Every joint must become invisible to time. Now the road hangs in perfect equilibrium above the valley. Before real use, the structure must learn to respond. Nature now tests what engineering has created. Even in darkness, the structure must remain visible and safe. What was assembled is now unified into one continuous structure. What was assembled is now unified into one continuous structure.
Before operation begins, the entire structure must reveal its inner truth.
Every cable must carry its exact share of the mountain's weight. The bridge learns how pressure moves through its own body. Even movement must be controlled in a structure of this scale. The wind becomes a measurable part of the design itself. Every possible failure is tested before reality can find it. The water beneath is no longer uncontrolled. It is measured. Even solid steel must learn how to breathe with the environment. Now every part of the structure works as one living system. Trust is earned only after every detail has been reviewed. Nothing here depends on a single point of strength.
Even the earth beneath has been accounted for.
Engineering and nature now exist in controlled balance.
The structure is now officially stable and complete.
Every force has been measured. Every weakness removed.
After years of construction, the surface is finally ready to be used.
Every system now stands ready to protect what has been built.
Weight becomes the final language of validation.
The system responds exactly as it was designed to.
Nature now flows in harmony with engineering control.
Even in darkness, the structure stands fully alive.
Every meter of this structure carries human precision. The world now recognizes what has been achieved here.
After years of motion, the structure finally becomes still.
This is the moment where engineering becomes reality.
Every detail has been tested, every system confirmed.